We can cross now to our correspondent in Kyiv, Gulliver Cragg. Gulliver, we're hearing there Donald Trump basically blaming Ukraine for not ending the war. What's the reactions to what Trump has been saying in Ukraine?
Well, I was actually awake when this press conference was going on because I was woken up by explosions as air defences were shooting down drones. So I was looking on Facebook as some Ukrainians were live commenting it in horror, saying things like, if you're watching this, maybe switch off the telly. And if you're not, maybe don't read the news tomorrow. Because, I mean, can you imagine how it sounds to people who've lost loved ones in this war, or who've lost their homes, or who've been displaced, for Donald Trump in sort of mocking tones talk about Ukraine wanting to have a seat at the table and suggesting that it would have been so easy to solve it if only he had been in charge, whilst at the same time making absolutely baseless assertions that Russia wants to end the war, is contradicting what his own intelligence services are saying, according to a new report that was on I think NBC News. Perhaps Russia wants to end the war if it can get rid of Volodymyr Zelensky, achieving one of its maximalist goals for Vladimir Putin, which Donald Trump appears to be on side with at the moment. One of the other baseless claims that he made during that press conference was that Volodymyr Zelensky's popularity rating in Ukraine is 4%. It's actually 42%, according to the most recent poll, and a very large majority of Ukrainians are against holding elections at the present time while the war is going on, because they think it would destabilize the country. Whether they like Zelensky or not, they don't want to hold elections. Another reaction that I saw online this morning was from Sergei Knezdilov, who's in a report I recently made, a soldier who's been very, very critical of the government and Zelensky. And he said, I'm going to have to vote for Zelensky. I mean, because we just have to not stand for this and show that, they can't come in and try to get rid of the president to external powers in this way. But they perceive it as that being something that now the United States and Russia appear to be trying to achieve together. Ukraine thought until very recently that the United States, even under Donald Trump, was an ally. It's very hard this morning for them to continue to think that.
Meanwhile, Gulliver, you mentioned there that you awoke to drone strikes, I believe, quite a heavy volley, notably overnight around Odessa.
Yeah, so for Kyiv, I haven't heard reports of any damage, but there were a lot of air defences working. I guess they were quite successful. In Odessa, not so much, because there has been damage to the power facilities, causing, I think, 250,000 people to be without heat and electricity this morning. And according to the city's mayor, a number of clinics and schools, educational facilities, also without heat and power.
Gulliver Cragg in Kyiv for now. Thanks very much.